welcome, and just a quick introduction, because this is, I guess, where people always say to me, where does the name Goats to Unicorns come from? So I don't know how many of you are familiar with the movie Despicable Me. And in that movie, the little girl finds this goat, but it's only got one horn, and she runs to the dad and says, look, Dad, I found a unicorn. And he sits her down and explains, this is not a unicorn. It's just a goat with one horn. And I thought to myself, hold on, if she wanted to believe it was a unicorn, why not? And hence the Goats2Unicorns name was born. So there's one thing about creativity, is that there's a need to be in an alpha state when you are being creative. So if you're well aware that in beta state is when we are working and when we are concentrating hard on delivering projects, works, whatever it might be. Creativity ideally happens in what we call the alpha state, when that is the state of when you normally wake up, or the state when you go for a run, or that you're in the shower. And that's why often people say that the most creative ideas come to them when they are doing those things. So this is just an image to ask you to breathe in, to breathe out, to try and not think of all the other work and deliverables and things that you need to do today, and just to try and just come into that alpha mode. Just relax now and be part of this 1.5 hours or 1 and a few hours presentation. So today's topic is the road to innovative entrepreneurship is paved with creativity. And I will divide it into 3 main aspects. First of all, there's going to be the background. Why is creativity so important, and what's happened to our creativity? I'm then going to look at how do we actually reignite our creativity. And the last will be a case study that we will all do together in order to actually take and apply what we've learned in the how to actually reignite our creativity in today's world. So welcome to my, what you call Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but this is the creative hierarchy of needs. And often I ask participants, where would you rate creativity in terms of product development, design thinking, and all these different aspects of evolving a business? And most people put it in the middle or somewhere along the line. But truthfully, it actually sits at the bottom. And why is that? Because creativity is what we call bringing new into the mind. When we actually designing a product or a service or something, we are creating, or we are bringing new to the world. But before you can actually take a product, take a service, take something to the world, you need to make sure that you're bringing the new to the mind. And that's why creativity is so important in today's world, and actually has always been. And I like to compare it to, for example, anxiety. So I have a daughter who's just completed matric, and she has terrible anxiety. So in other words, when she learns her work, she's brilliant at what she does. She really works hard, but as she enters the exam, the anxiety takes over, and she's not able to complete or fulfill her exam as best as she could. So what does she need to do? She needs to learn skills to cope with that anxiety. And once she's able to cope with that anxiety, she's able to deliver, or she's able to complete her exam in the best way possible. And this is exactly the same. So if you're delivering a product or service, or coming up with a new product or service, you need to have that creativity as bringing new into the mind. You need to develop that skill, that underlying skill. And when people speak about creativity, they speak about, and I think that's something that we all refer to, oh, someone can paint so well, oh, they are so creative, or someone dances brilliantly, oh, they are so creative. And that's actually not the type of creativity that we talk about in business. Creativity in business is about this ability to have mental freedom, the ability to come up with new ideas and new ideas and products and services, and the ability to not feel that you are restricted to certain things. And it's the ability to have choices. So, for example, the amount of people that are being retrenched today in business and in organizations, you know, you hear this, what else am I going to do? I've done this for the past however many years. This is my skill. I don't know. I'm lost. Yes, they've lost income for a while. But at the same time, creativity allows you to think, hold on, but I could do this, and have so many ideas. I mean, I think I have the opposite extreme problem that I, on a daily basis, just think, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. I've got so many choices. Which one should I choose today? So the ability to have that mental freedom is what's key in creativity. So just in terms of some background, creativity is sitting definitely in the top 3 skills needed in the workplace. We see here, this is a LinkedIn report. But just to go into a bit more depth, I looked at the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report, and I've pulled out 3 main slides. This one is the relative importance of different skill groups. And once again, you can see complex problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity sitting in the top 5 skills needed in the workplace. Why I've circled them all is, for me, complex problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity, which I call the 3 C's, all work together. They do not work independent of each other. And that's why when I actually train or run workshops, we actually run all these 3 things together. Today, we'll concentrate on creativity and just get a broad outline of creativity, but they all work together. And you can see on the right-hand side, I've circled resilience, because last week you had a talk by Mrs. Jansen on the resilience. And just to show that all of these are what are key skills that have been identified worldwide. So this is a worldwide table or worldwide research. And then what else I found very interesting is if we look at the top cross-cutting specialized skills of the future. So we can see entrepreneurship is sitting there in these top 20. And what they call by cross-cutting are those skills that are applicable and that are easily transferable across many different occupations and roles. So entrepreneurship is in those top, or at least I would say top 20 sitting there, of skills now needed in the workplace, especially as a result, as you can see on the emerging job clusters of people, culture, and marketing and sales. So it's really important to enhance these entrepreneurial skills that we are building here at Democratizing Entrepreneurship. And then lastly, they actually break it per country. So looking at South Africa, so the average working age is 31. On the left is emerging and redundant job roles. So I don't think this is anything that is surprising to us, but always good to know, because if you are an entrepreneur and you are starting a business, it's vital to know what is needed now in the workplace. So it's no good starting an insurance underwriting business or I mean, it says they're accountants and auditors. So maybe accounting and auditing isn't necessarily the right way to be going. But, and once again, looking on the right, what are the emerging skills? There again, in the top 10, sit critical thinking, complex problem solving, and creativity. So the question, I guess, goes, sorry, this is the reference site for that World Economic Forum. It's a very long report, but a very, very interesting report that I'll send off to you. So this is the problem. And this is the question, is how do you have a competitive edge today? How, as an entrepreneur, will you be different to all other individuals, entrepreneurs, businesses, whatever it is? How is your product, how is your service going to be different? How are you going to have that competitive edge? Because I can tell you today, not only are we faced with so many people who have similar careers or similar organizations to ourselves, we're also competing against AI, robots. So there's one skill they say at this moment, actually a few, but with regards to creativity, at the moment, because who knows what happens into the future, but creativity is one of the skills that AI or robotics cannot replace at the moment. Yeah. So is there someone want to ask something, or just they're not muted? So in terms of creativity, this is why it is so important to start developing this skill and being able to have that competitive edge in the marketplace. And in order for you to be able to have that competitive edge, we need to be adaptable and agile human beings. It is long gone that this is the way we did it. This is the way we have always done it. And this is the way we will continue to do it, is a no-no anymore. Life, as we know, is changing exponentially. Technology is changing exponentially. And with that digitization, we have to be ready, adaptable human beings. And we refer to this intelligence as an AQ, adaptability intelligence. And that's the ability to change, to be agile without sinking. And what constitutes AQ is emotional intelligence, which you have been studying. I know you did one last week on resilience, being emotionally prepared. Who am I? How do I show up? Am I capable, of delivering what I need to? Creative intelligence is what we call creativity, complex problem solving, and critical thinking. And then our IQ, our knowledge, our technical skills. So having all three of these will allow us to move forward in this new economy, in this new 4IR. So each one of those need to be developed, but today we're just focusing on our creative intelligence with specifics to creativity.